breathing, and it never dies. Yeah, it's Marlon Speaks Live, now the truth will rise. Yo, it's Marlon Speaks Live, yeah, I'm saying what they hide. History uncensored, let the real survive.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back. Another episode of Marlon Speaks Live, man. Yeah, so as y'all might have seen already, the arrest of Don Lemon. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play a couple clips, and then I'm gonna come back and give my commentary and just a broader perspective on what's going on, like I always do on this channel. I don't just talk about the exact thing going on. I like to bring up the historical relevance and why a lot of these things are just simply not being hidden no more. So yeah, let's get into it, man.
There's strong reaction today to Don Lemon's arrest.
The Trump administration taking new aggressive steps against journalists.
His former colleagues at CNN expressing outrage.
This very much has Trump retribution vibes.
The White House responding with mockery, announcing Lemon's arrest on social media with the caption, "When life gives you lemons." He was taken into custody early Friday morning in Los Angeles after attending a pre-Grammy party. According to one report, he was seen being handcuffed while flanked by FBI and Homeland Security agents. Lemon is here in Los Angeles to cover the Grammys for his YouTube channel. He's scheduled to be here at Crypto.com Arena on the red carpet interviewing celebrities before Sunday's show. But all that is up in the air now that he's in federal custody.
I'm just going to walk in, see what's happening.
It was this report 2 weeks ago that landed him in hot water with the Trump administration. He followed anti-ICE agitators into a Minneapolis church whose pastor is believed to work with ICE.
I'm not part of the group. I'm just here photographing. I'm a journalist.
But the White House claims he was one of the organizers. And today, Attorney General Pam Bondi says a grand jury indicted Lemon on charges that he interfered with the congregants' civil rights.
If I haven't been clear already, if you violate that sacred right, we are coming after you.
Don Lemon is planning to fight the charges. His lawyer saying the journalist's work in Minneapolis was, quote, constitutionally protected.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so yeah, let's I want to go to Joy Reid and let Joy, Joy is she is one of, if not one of the premier voices in our culture. And when I say culture, I'm talking about American culture. She speaks for everybody. And if y'all don't know who Joy Reid is and what she represents, let's let Joy talk.
I do want to note that we were trying to see if we could wait to get in the National Association of Black Journalists. We're waiting for a statement to come out with them. But when that happens, maybe we'll just go ahead and post that as soon as that is available. But what was said, I think, is absolutely true. What you guys have to understand is that they're not going to limit this to just the liberals. At a certain point, they're going to come for everyone. They're going to come for everyone, because at the end of the day, what they want is for the regime to be in complete control. And they're certainly not going to want to have millions and millions of armed Republicans running around who may change their mind and turn on them. They're not going to wait around to see if MAGA sticks with them or stays on side. They're going to make sure that everyone is subjugated. And you'll either do what they say and you'll be a part of it and you'll be complicit in it, or per what happened to Alex Preddy and Renee Good, you might get dead. You might get arrested. And note that they are specifically going after Black journalists. This is very deliberate. They want the face of this to be Black people. They want the face of it not to be white anymore. They want the face of it to be Black, because they can't win. They can't win. They can't win the argument if the victims are white, because the majority in the country is still 57% white people. And so they need them to stay on side. And they've done everything in their power over the decades since 1619 to keep white people from siding with black people, to keep white people from siding with indigenous people or brown people, to get brown people to side with white people against black people. The division is very deliberate. There's a reason why we do our little fun thing where we talk about the spicy whites and the Latinos and the Latinas there. It's because we need to be all on the same side, because the elites, these economic elites who are also predatory, they're also lascivious, they were all doing weird shit with Jeffrey Epstein, or there are people that they know that are being protected, that are in those Epstein files, know that at the end of the day, what they want is to be able to fake being Christian, but also be preying on children and women on the side, just like in The Handmaid's Tale. That book was prophecy, because those men were not moral. Those men were running around with the enslaved women who were used as prostitutes because they still wanted to do dirt. Note, they built a society and a system where they got to rape women who were forced to live in their homes to be in-house slaves, and then they would run out to the brothels with the out-of-house slaves. What they want is to be predators. But they want to be predators who there is no super predator over them. The super predator that's supposed to stop them is called the Constitution. The super predator that's supposed to stop the predator men and the predator, they're sort of the wives that hang on to them. The super predator is supposed to be the Constitution and the Congress, Article 1. But they've weakened and neutered Article 1. There is no Article 1. Jasmine Crockett's great. Ilhan Omar is fantastic. Maxwell Frost, who also got assaulted, fantastic. There are not enough of them to make Article 1 work, because Article 1 has been neutered. Donald Trump has already cut the legs out from under Article 1. He's cut the legs out from Article 3. The Supreme Court is obedient and obeisant. John Roberts wants to just let Trump do what he wants. We have that from background from someone who says that his advice to people who are alarmed at what Donald Trump is doing is give him what he wants. That is what John Roberts, per a source, is telling people. He is literally telling people, just give him what he wants. They want to be on their knees. They are refusing to rule on cases, hoping that they can string it out, waiting to rule against Donald Trump's claims of total immunity when there's a Democratic president there. Then they can pretend that they all along were going to constrain the president. They were just waiting for the president to be Gavin Newsom or J.B. Pritzker. Now they're going to constrain them. But there may not be a President Gavin Newsom or a President J.B. Pritzker, because the big thing that Lev Parnas is hinting at is that they're going to do something to prevent the Republican Party from losing control of the Congress, because the weak-kneed, supine, obedient Republican Party and their refusal to assert their rights as an Article 1 power, as the most powerful entity in the country, it's Congress. Their refusal to assert themselves is the only thing allowing Donald Trump to run amok. Donald Trump couldn't destroy the East Wing of the White House if the Congress said you can't do it, if they stood there and stopped him. They could cut his money off. They could cut his salary. They could cut everybody's salary. They could cut Kristi Noem's salary. Congress is the one that has the power. They're refusing to use it. Much of the media is bought and paid for, gone. Fox is just state media. They're just going to get on there and cackle and about what Donald Trump is doing. They've got one or two good people over there. The rest of them, they overwhelm them with bullshit and lies. They're state media. All of that right-wing media is state media. And then you've got this cabal between their independent media, the now Tucker Carlsons of the world, et cetera, and this white Christian nationalist tech bro CEO movement. They want complete control and oppression, as GCAN07 said. They want total control and oppression. It is The Handmaid's Tale. And those of us who were saying it was fascism, it's The Handmaid's Tale, we're warning you that they're trying to reestablish America 1.0, which is America in 1619, when women were in loco parentis of their fathers and brothers and then their husbands, when women literally were considered property in loco parentis of their parents, and then of their fathers, and then of their brothers that the father died, and then of their husband. They were just passed along. Women could not inherit property. They had to marry someone in order to have property. They couldn't vote. And the only vote was the husband's vote, which was the family vote. Doug Wilson says openly on his podcast, frequently, as do many, Joel Webbin, all of these right-wing preachers, just listen to what they say. They say women should not have the independent right to vote. It should be a family vote in the 19th Amendment. They don't like any of the amendments, to be honest with you. They certainly, at this point, don't even like the Second Amendment, because they think that Alex Preddy, who was beaten up and assaulted 2 weeks before he was murdered, never actually used his Second Amendment right. So we're waiting for one more person to come on, Jason. We've got one more guest that we're waiting on. We're going to give her a few minutes to try to get on. This is an important guest if we can get her on, and then we're going to pop over onto Don Lemon show. But this is this is a challenge. I'm waiting for one more person. If we can get her on.
Yeah, so that was Joy Reid, and as y'all heard, she really like broke down the implications and the fallout of what's really going on. And let me add some historical context to what's going on. So if y'all don't know, Nazi Germany got a bunch of its ideas from this country. A whole bunch of how they treated the Jewish people, how they treated any people that didn't look like Germans, you know, that was not what they call Aryan or whatever, right? They got a lot of their ideas from America. And the spirit in this country is still the same. The soul in this country is still the same. And what's happening is they don't want to hide it no more. They don't want to hide it no more, and they refuse to hide it. They want to be outwardly, they want to show off that spirit that Nazis got from America. They want to show it off now. So by them arresting Don Lemon, this is nothing new. Them targeting, you know, not wanting the truth to be let out, you know, especially from a Black journalist, you know. Yeah, this is nothing new. This, and like Joy Reid said, more is more to come. You know, but we already see Black Americans, we're already pretty much insulated from the inside out of tyranny, of all of these type of tactics. We actually inherited something that we already know what's going on. That's why you don't see a lot of us out here protesting right now. That's why you will never, right at this moment, we actually have the actual DNA to be able to understand what's going on right now. So you won't see us out there protesting and all of that because we understand what's at stake. They're trying to literally kill us, frame us as the bad people, which they've always done in this country. So, you know, when we see Don Lemon getting arrested, you know, we knew that was coming. You know, we knew that this regime wants to criminalize Black people. That's what this country is built on. This is nothing new. So that's why you won't see too much of a you know, a protest going on with us right now. We know that these ICE agents and all of these, they would literally pull their guns out and, like Donald Trump said, do us in the middle of Fifth Avenue. That's how they would do us. So what he was saying about he could literally, you know, shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue and nobody would do nothing. That's the kind of power they want to give these ICE agents to do to Black people. And we know that. And we understood when we heard Trump talking about what he wanted to do, how the hate that he wanted to spew to this country. We understood that he was talking directly to our people. We understood it. But since white America, historically, just like Joy Reid said, they have historically wanted to not be on our side and deliberately try to ignore the wickedness that's going on in this country towards anybody with this melanin, indigenous people, anybody that don't look like they're Aryan white people, right? That they supposed to automatically make them good if we bad. You know what I'm saying? So that whole fallacy is what this country was built on. So this is nothing new. And that's the only thing I wanted to add to what Joy Reid mentioned and all of her analysis of what's going on and the bigger implications and the fallout of what's happening. This is nothing new. This is absolutely old and it's so played out. You know, but the crazy thing about it, Don Lemon is about to sue the shit out of them. He about to get paid. See, this is my analysis of everything that this Trump regime is doing. They are about to ensure that Black people get reparations. I've been saying that, and I'm gonna keep saying that. They're actually, all of this hate this outward hate that a lot of Americans are showing towards anybody that don't look white, they are actually helping us. Y'all are helping us. Anytime you try to hurt God, you helping God. You can't hurt God. Like, what is wrong with y'all? We represent God in the sense of like every race come from us, right? So we're the parents of all humans, period. Look, man, it's no way of getting around reparations. That's the thing. It's no way of getting around it. And this regime is actually ensuring that it happens. I love every bit of it. I love the outward hate, the direct assault on these so-called minority, but we're actually the majority in the world, the majority people. The minority in the world is white people. So either way, I love this assault on who they think are, the weakest in society. We're the strongest in society. That's why we get all of this hate. Because the only way that they can even so-called win, and this is no competition with human beings, with real human beings. We're the real human beings. We're not competing against no other people. We know that people are our people. They all come from us. We're not worried about it. But that notion that white America is shrinking and we're taking over, that same thing happened in Nazi Germany, that ideology. And y'all see where it got them? That got them bowing down to the same people that they was trying to oppress, the Jewish people. That same thing is happening right now, and it's been happening. All them Jim Crow laws, the redlining, all of these atrocities from 1619 to now, this country is going to be forced to pay. I don't know who's gonna come and do like what America so-called did on paper when we went to war in World War II, but the nations of the world are watching. More importantly, our people within this country are, we getting powered up. We are being empowered by all of this hate. We soaking it all in. And like I said, reparations. So if you a white American, if you look white, you might need to go get your DNA test, your 23andMe, and see how much black genes you have so you can possibly get some of these reparations. And it's going to come in the form of a whole lot of things more than money. It's going to come in the form of education. That's going to be one of the main ones. Education in the form of knowing you come from black people. Yeah, so that little drop you thought was just black blood that you might have had from some slave, some people that start passing as white and they end up mixing into your genes. No, you actually, even before, so ancient that they can't even go back, or they can, hopefully the technology come where they can trace every human being back to the actual tribe of Africans that they come from. When that happened, I can't wait to see, when the world would say like, it's irrefutable evidence. Like you can't argue with it because there's a lot of people that don't believe all human beings come from Africans, come from people that have melanin. So the truth of it is they have tracked all DNA back to Africa already. But, just going, just staying on topic, this regime is going to ensure that we get reparations. And that's what I'm all for. And it's going to help this country more so than anything because y'all see the alternative is autocracy. The alternative is subjugating all Americans. That's the alternative. The alternative to treating the people that were oppressed, by trying to repair the relationships with them is to basically rule over everybody and treat everybody the same way. See, and that's what you have when you have no accountability. The next level of not being accountable is to just act like it never existed, take the history out of the history books, take the history out of the curriculum, dumb down to all the people, you know. So like what Joy Reid said, they're not gonna just stop with us. That has never been the goal, to stop with just black people. They want to actually rule over and treat everybody like they treating us. And that's why I always say, if any one of us is hurt, every one of us is hurt. If anyone is affected, everyone is affected. And that has been true since the beginning. If anybody was enslaved, everybody was enslaved in certain kind of ways. And so, yeah, that's all I wanted to add to that. And look, I'll be back with more, man. It's a whole lot of stuff going on in the world, in our country, especially Nicki Minaj. I got that coming up. I'm gonna cover what's going on with her right now. And yeah, so I'll be back.